All right, guys, here we are. It's still early on in the Oscar race. Again, this is a pre-recorded one. A little bit, a little bit of a haircut since the last video. Oh well, but anyways, we're gonna jump right in, and we'll go into a couple of previews here for the Venice and for the Toronto film festivals. I want to say before we start, though, that currently we're dealing with. I don't know. I just felt like I had to say something. Just on the stuff, Afghanistan is just a total shit show right now, and it's obviously a very perilous situation there, and everything that's happening there. It's just really a disaster, and I'm just really wanted to give a shout out there, and hopefully everyone, if you have family or relatives of any kind or friends even that are in any way involved in that. Absolutely go out of your way to hope and pray that everything turns out okay. I know right now it doesn't look like it will, but we'll see. And then of course Hurricane Ida at the time of this recording is just hitting landfall in Louisiana, so we'll see as a projected Category 4. We'll see just how much of a disaster that's gonna bring on everybody in the region down there. So I don't know. I mean, when we're still a few days out here from the time of this recording of the opening of the Venice Film Festival. It's on September the 1st here, so that's coming up. It'll be later this week. So we'll. I don't know. We might, and obviously being in Venice is kind of a little bit of a different deal, but just going into the festival, I think are at least here in the States, we're going to be in kind of a foul mood with everything that's going on. So, so I think we'll go ahead and get started here. But I just wanted to say those two things are happening now in case everybody goes into the festival and it's like, So we'll see. Maybe if anything like that has an effect on the Oscar race down the line. I mean, we'll have to figure that out when we get there, but. I know right now it's like there's a couple, it's the bad things happen in threes and stuff. So it's like, oof, we don't want to know what that third thing is. Maybe it's, more stuff with Delta variant or, all that stuff. It's like, it's really a big question mark at this point with that. If the bad thing comes in three things, what it is, we'll find out, I guess. But anyways. So I guess we'll go into starting with Venice because that's first. Again, that runs from September the 1st till September the 11th. And just for fun, the jury, you've got Bong Joon-ho and Chloe Zhao, the last two best director and picture winners. Sarah Gadon's there, Cynthia Erivo. So you've got a few, pretty famous faces and directors there on the jury. So we'll see in competition what they're going to pick. Obviously, at this point, virtually all of these have not been seen. So we'll see if, a film like Spencer or Power of the Dog, which are two of the more Oscar favorites right now of this bunch. And we'll get into, not all of them, but we'll get into a few of the ones that are sticking out here. We'll see if one of them emerge from the field, and we'll see if they pick. Just a little recap here of what's been awarded here in the past. Nomadland did a rare feat here last year with alongside Shape of Water here in 2017, Del Toro's film, where Nomadland won the Golden Lion here, as did Shape of Water, and those were the first two films in decades to win both Golden Lion and Best Picture. Obviously, a few of the other ones recently that you've had are The Woman Who Left in 2016. 2018 was Roma. 2019 was Joker. So other than one, it's like they've all been, Best Picture nominees at worst, So, there's always a little bit of prestige that goes with the Golden Lion. Usually if it does go, though, to a European or an Italian film, there's a chance, it's one that might have been picked by that country to be their representation for the international film category or foreign language film category in the past. So it's not always a guarantee, but it's like usually it's one that if they didn't enter it, they were considering it at worst. So there's usually not way too many surprises there where it's like, oh, it's a random film that even that country didn't anticipate they were going to have a big showing of. Doesn't really happen that often. Okay, so I guess the first one that stuck out to me here, and part of this also comes off of who's directing the film as well as who's in it and all that stuff. The Card Counter. This is the new film from Paul Schrader, who finally got his first nomination here a few years ago for First Reformed. And this one, because there were rumors at the time, and that was I need to remind myself, 2017? Yeah, 2017. Because that was a really weird year for the... 2018. 2018, because, yeah, that was the year where it was really weird in original screenplay, because it's like that one won at the Globes, it was Green Book. First Reform, won at Critics' Choice. Then he went on to the WGA, which went with Eighth Grade, which wasn't even nominated that year. BAFTA went with The Favorite, so we were all kind of scrambling there for that one. So I picked First Reform just because that was the only one that had gone undefeated up to that point, whereas Green Book had lost WGA and Critics' Choice. The Favorite had lost at the Globes. I believe it was nominated at the Globes, and had lost at Critics' Choice, and was not nominated or eligible, I believe, not eligible at WGA. So I just went with First Reformed, and that did not work out. But this one, supposedly, there was some thought that maybe this was the one, at the time, maybe part of the problem, what I was getting to was with Paul Schrader winning that, might have been an interview with him where he said, I want to work with Kevin Spacey somewhere down the line. And so there was kind of speculation on what that film would be. Some have said it would have been this one, but you never know for sure. This one stars Oscar Isaac, Tiffany Haddish, Ty Sheridan, and Willem Dafoe. And kind of centers around, just reading the very basic description here, an ex-military interrogator who becomes a gambler and is trying to make up for some of his past, whether that's decision he made at the time that he thought were right or wrong, and he's trying to do something with the gambling there. So I've heard there's a little bit of a rumor that this does kind of have a little bit of a Robin Hood kind of feel to it a little bit in that aspect. But I don't know, I haven't seen the trailer or anything to this one. But it's going to be playing on September the 2nd, right before it gets released, supposedly in limited and then going wide, if it pans out by Focus Features, on September the 10th here in the States. So, yeah, again, some of these, like Toronto famously, will have a couple films open at the festival, and then they open in the States right away, and usually it's not a great sign. I think Hustlers is like the one example I can think of where it's like that opened early, and we all thought, okay, it's just a big kind of studio film that they want to open. But no, it turned out it did have an Oscar chance here or there in a couple categories. And then stuff like, The Goldfinch, though, which was a bigger Oscar prospect at the time, and we thought was going to, premiere and then, go on. That was the flip. That was the one where it was like, it actually sucks. Or supposedly. I never did end up seeing it. But, yeah, that one totally just blew up on the launching pad there. So with this one, I don't know. With Schrader, you almost always have to give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, he's got tons of stuff that he's done in the past where he's, really been, in the mix with Oscar nominations, of course. And that's everything from... Taxi Driver to Hardcore, American Gigolo, Raging Bull, Mosquito Coast, Last Temptation of Christ, Fliction. He's done a bunch of stuff like that where it's like he's almost gotten there and then he never does get the Oscar nomination. They finally did, though, with First Reformed. And this is his first time out since then. So, right now I don't have a lot of stock in it, but we'll see if this is one that maybe does pick up some buzz from Venice and actually does end up... having a little bit of a run at it. Okay, next one I was going to point out is I believe it's Italian film, called The Hand of God, I'm not even going to come close to pronouncing it right. È stata la mano di Dio, something like that. Paolo Sorrentino, I should say, is the director on this one. And he's done The Great Beauty and what was the later one? Youth. Yeah, Youth. He did a couple. Yeah, so those were both Great Beauty winning the Oscar for international film or foreign film at the time. And then Youth had a few Oscar prospects at the time, like Michael Caine and Harvey Keitel and Jane Fonda out of the cast. And at one point it was thought of to be maybe a bigger player in Best Picture. This one is going to be released by Netflix later on in the season, supposedly around, actually right before Christmas, worldwide on Netflix. It'll actually be in Italian theaters, though, close to Thanksgiving here in the U.S. It'll be kind of the last weeks of November there. This one will also play on September the 2nd. And this one, I don't know much of the story. And it's pretty vague right now. But I would say one aspect, though, is to look out for maybe is that this could be a player, if it is the official release by Italy, they could have a good chance with this one, having a past winner there from the same director. Some countries will do that. Other times they'll just go with a different one every time or whatever. But yeah, this one I don't know. Otherwise, look out for it maybe in something like cinematography. Some of those like what's his name? Paolo Pawlowski. Won or had a few nominations for a previous film. Then his next one, Cold War, the next big Oscar prospect, at least if it wasn't his next film, in his filmography, ended up with director. So maybe even Paolo Sorrentino for director is a chance if this one really does take off and does become a really widely respected and seen film. So I'd keep a little bit of an eye out for that one. Okay, next one is also one that's going to be released by Netflix. It's looking for more very end of the year things, so I would be a little more wary of those. I mean, sometimes they work out, but sometimes they don't. And it's called The Lost Daughter. And I'm going to double check this to see if this is debut. I believe this is directorial debut, though, of Maggie Gyllenhaal. I'm going to see if there's anything else I have about that. Let's see here. And she's actually, funny enough, she's also the sole writer on the project. So we will see if that pans out for her as well. But this one's playing on September the 3rd. Will open on Netflix on December 31st, but will play in the U.S. starting on December the 17th. And we've got actually a pretty good cast with this one. Ed Harris is in there. He's the only one that doesn't have a character name on there, I think. But Olivia Colman, I believe, is going to be the lead character. Jesse Buckley plays the younger version of her. Then you got Dakota Johnson and Peter Sarsgaard in there. So that's a pretty good cast that Maggie has to work with there. And she's also a producer, by the way, on the film, one of 4 listed producers at the moment. And it basically says that a woman, while on holiday, finds herself becoming obsessed with another woman and her daughter, which prompts memories of her own motherhood. And potentially there was something disastrous that happened, with that. So it's kind of a definitely going to be a drama. But yeah, so that one, I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of early buzz on that one. So we'll see if that one maybe does come out and surprises us also at the festival. Let's see. Otherwise, I think we're down to just 3 others that I was looking at here that stood out to me. First one is Parallel Mothers, Pedro Almodovar's film. With Penelope Cruz. This one I know is going to be a bigger player, like it's going to be at a couple of the other festivals. I believe I saw that it was going to be at Toronto here. I'm going to double check that because now I'm not seeing it right away. No, it is not. At least not officially listed, at least. Anyways, but... yeah, it's going to be an interesting one here because Almodovar, almost every time he's got one out, you've got to at least potentially, consider it for stuff. Obviously, his last one, I can never remember the name of it, so I have to look it up again here. Pain and Glory did get Antonio in, but I know at one point I was thinking it was a huge threat for director. It was nominated for international film as well. But it was, definitely it was one where I'm like, okay, that one might get a bunch of nominations for Sony Pictures Classics. And Sony Pictures Classics, by the way, does have this one again. Anyways, and it is set, actually, and kind of like Pain and Glory, it'll open in Spain first, and then it will open on in the U.S. much later. This one, though, is coming out actually right before Christmas, December 24th, so Christmas Eve. There you go. And is this... I don't believe it's the opening one, but it's playing on September the 1st. Let's see, I'm going to see... Oh, no, it is. It is, okay. I was going to look around again to make sure there wasn't another one that was playing before it, but this is our opener. And, yeah, actually, that did remind me. I didn't go into the other opening films in the past years. Some of them are, true ones where it's like, okay, look out for that one. Other times it's, okay, it was the opening one. Like The Ties last year, which nobody remembers. The Truth... from 2019. Nobody really remembers. First Man was opening film in 2018, and of course we all thought that was going to get it started on a great path, and not really. Downsizing was the opening film in 2017, and that one, again, we thought might have some great expectations, but ended up with a goose egg. And then La La Land was the opening film in 2016, so obviously that one, most nominations of all time, tied with Titanic and All About Eve. And again, we all, almost from the opening trailers and over the summer, a lot of us said that's going to go the distance, and it almost did. Almost did. Anyways, but yeah, we'll move on to Power of the Dog, which we do have a trailer out for this one now. And the first trailer didn't show much, but it looks promising. Definitely was more of a showcase for Kirsten Dunst and potentially for Cody Smith-McPhee, more their roles than it was for Benedict Cumberbatch or Jesse Plemons, both of which are have a lot of rising stock right now in their respective lead actor for Benedict and supporting for Jesse races in a couple of sites here. But yeah, this one definitely looks more like a Western. I was thinking like post-World War II, but it's actually looks like it's going to be much more maybe 100 years earlier than that. And actually it is described as early 20th century rather. So it's going to be actually presumably around World War I times, less World War II. But yeah, and the first trailer was good. I mean, it definitely looks like it's going to have some threats there for some of its potential candidates in the acting races. Definitely in the other, what's the word I'm looking for? Jeez Louise. The costume design and the those ones, whatever the fuck, I can't think of the fucking name now. Oh my god, tech categories. God, I couldn't think of the word. Tech categories. Yeah, it definitely looks like even if this one does fall apart, it looks like it's still going to be at least something of a threat there. So real quick, I'll just mention this one. It is going to be at both Toronto and Venice. Screening on September the 2nd at Venice. That's the popular day. And then it will be at Toronto, and I believe they don't have a date for that one yet, actually, at Toronto. But it is going to be part of the special presentations panels, so presumably it'll get a good spot there, a couple good screenings there. And it's also going to be at New York Film Festival on screening on October 1st. Not the opening film, but definitely a bigger piece of that festival as well. And by the way, at the time of this recording, we obviously don't have yet the announcements for Telluride, but I would not be shocked if this one did end up at Telluride. Let's see, for the other ones here that we've already mentioned, I don't really see the first three being at Telluride. Parallel Mothers might show up there. And the next one, Spencer, which I'm going to get to because that one we also have a trailer for. That one, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't 100% bet on it. I would say it's more like a 60-40 right now that it will show up versus won't. But, yeah, I think this one, getting into Spencer, I got to say, that trailer, maybe it was just the music, but I was like, damn, that's almost as good as the Social Network trailer. I mean, and it almost had that same feel where it had that kind of choral, music that kind of sounds depressing and stuff, and it's definitely in a minor key and all that. But yeah, I mean, right away I was impressed by the trailer, and I thought, really, it does look outstanding in a lot of qualities here. Kristen Stewart's performance, rather, just early on, without much context to it, does look like it's gonna hold up, and it's gonna be her first nomination. I put Sally Hawkins in for supporting actress. Now we'll get to some updated predictions here as well, just for fun. We'll go into those. Yeah, but I think this one is actually maybe going to be, and it's from Neon, remember? So they've got some stuff up their sleeve sometimes. Like with, they didn't quite have as good a run with I, Tonya as they thought they might have early on, but definitely with Parasite they went the distance. So yeah, we'll see what this one does for them. But right now I'm thinking it's going to bode some good things for them. So this one is going to be also at Toronto and Venice both, and again possibly at Telluride, and screening on September the 3rd. We know for sure at Venice, and then we will see it open the first weekend of November here in the States, and again presumably that'll be very limited, and then it'll expand out. Okay, so that's all the stuff that's in competition at Venice. There's a couple of fun ones, or potential players, that are playing out of competition. The first one, of course, is Dune, which we talked quite a bit about last time, so I don't really feel like I need to get way too far into it yet again. But yeah, this one, yeah, definitely will have some fun stuff going on there. And let's see what the date is on that one. That one is also coming on the 3rd, and it will also be a special presentation at Toronto as well. And I don't really see that one fitting in with the crowd at Telluride. I think it's maybe Warner Brothers. I don't think they traditionally play that big at Telluride. Next one is going to be Halloween Kills, the sequel to the Halloween 3rd version that's just called Halloween. I don't know, which, yeah, I remember I saw it when it came out and I liked it. I wasn't super enthusiastic about it or anything. But since then it's kind of been like, oh yeah, that happened kind of deal. It's like it hasn't played very well. I don't think, it's not like it's been playing on, TV every now and again or whatever. It's maybe last Halloween I might have seen it on TV once. But I don't know, it almost did feel like, yeah, it was kind of a thing that came and went, it made money, and people generally liked it when it came out, but since then it's been an afterthought. And this sequel, at least the first trailer, did not impress me. No, it just literally, and I'm somebody who generally likes these slasher movies and stuff, but this almost looks like it is exactly the same. And I don't know. I mean, at least there was a little bit of, intrinsic, value in that last one where it's like, oh, this is the first time we're going to see Laurie Strode back in, a couple decades now, or close to that. Because technically she did show up in one of the other ones just to get killed off right away, I guess. And it is, John Carpenter's coming back to the series for the first time, literally, in almost 4 decades. We're seeing, what's going to actually happen with Laurie Strode is taking away all the rest of the sequels, even Halloween 2, which, some of the, what was it, Halloween H2O or whatever, that one was supposed to eliminate everything except Halloween 2. It's like Halloween 1, 2, and then this one in the new chronology thing. And then this, latest one was like, oh, even skip Halloween 2. This is just a straight up, this is what happened now, years after the first Halloween. But yeah, this one, yeah, I mean, I'll probably still end up seeing it just because I am such a fan of the franchise. And it's going to be fun to see, like, Kyle Richards, who was a very, young actress in the first one, as one of the kids that gets terrorized and all that. It'll be fun to see her come back. I believe this is the first time she's been back in the series, if I remember correctly. So there'll be a couple familiar faces and stuff in there that we didn't see in the last one. And I know they wanted Paul Rudd to come back, and funny enough, he actually almost ended up being able to do it with COVID and stuff. Maybe in an alternate universe, because he played Tommy Doyle in one of the other sequels. I think it was the one before H2O, The Curse of Michael Myers. Okay. Anyways, I binged a bunch of these movies years ago, so they all kind of run together in my head. But he showed up in that one very young. So he wanted to do it, but the Ghostbusters sequel or remake, whatever the fuck that's going to end up being, that was priority. He was already signed on for that and stuff. Anyway, so that one, again, I would not... Dune, I do still think is going to be a much bigger player at the Oscars. Halloween Kills, no chance. Okay, Last Duel is also going to have its premiere here at Venice on September the 10th, so it's not quite... I don't think it's quite going to be the closing film, but it's definitely going to be one of the last ones here. That we'll see if it... And it is out of competition, so it's not going to make a late play for it or anything. But we'll see if it does leave an impression on people there as one of the last films. Otherwise, it will open here in the States on October the 15th. And I do not believe it's going to be... It's not listed as a film at Toronto, and again, this is a 20th century production here. So I just don't really see it as a Telluride player either. So I think it will be just a Venice, and then it'll eventually open. But yeah, again, I'm not as high on this one as a few others are, but yeah, we'll see what the reaction is at Venice, and if it can turn that around and actually become maybe even more so than Gucci, the next or House of Gucci, whatever it's called, maybe the next big player for Ridley Scott. And then Last Night in Soho is also going to be here at Venice, screening on September the 4th, so a little bit earlier. And this one, yeah, again, the first trailer came out here a few months ago, and I liked it. And I'm definitely intrigued by, what the whole story is going to be and stuff. And, yeah, and it is Edgar Wright, who you almost always got to say, okay, even if it's not going to be a huge Oscar player, it's like, yeah, he almost always turns in fun stuff at worst. So yeah, this one, yeah, they've switched the release date around like 16 times, so it's really, as far as I know, it's the 22nd of October when it'll come out, a little closer to Halloween. So, yeah, and it's gonna, yeah, so it'll be a little bit of space there. And this one is also going to be at Toronto, and it is, I believe Universal's got this one. Again, maybe it might surprise us and be at Telluride, but right now I'd lean in the no column on that one. Okay, yeah, so that's about everything we have there. But yeah, I think early on, just from gauging here, just a quick, I don't know, throw it out there, because this is, by the way, we have 21 films that are in competition for the Golden Lion. I don't know if it's going to be one of the ones we talked about that do have some of the more familiar directors or stars in them and stuff. At least the ones that came to my mind. I don't know. I'm really thinking the best ones of the that has a shot from what I've seen, and maybe the trailer just gave me a little bit more of a bigger impression. But I think Spencer is probably the one I would watch out for here to maybe win the Golden Lion of these. If not, something like Hand of God or maybe Parallel Mothers. Some of the more European style that might be more to their liking. But yeah, I think that's the one I would say right now that I would say, okay, give it a shot, Anyways, but I guess one we can mention real quick that I'm just kind of looking at both lists now. The Box, film from Mexico by Lorenzo Vigas, who I've not heard of. That's going to be at both Toronto and Telluride as well, or Toronto and Venice, I mean. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get into Toronto now, because there's quite a bit to get into with that one. We'll start with the gala presentations, and again, I don't have, none of these have listed the dates yet, and of course, from what I've read here, Toronto is going to be very, because this is coming up on September the 9th to the 18th, so there's a little bit more going on there. But they're very nervous about in-person showings and stuff, and they're supposedly there's a couple contingency plans to have this go out almost all digitally if it needs to, with electronic or virtual screenings and all that. So yeah, we'll have to wait a little bit longer to see what they want to do with that and what is going to work best and everything. But a couple ones that we'll mention here, like we said, Dune is going to have a bigger premiere there, not premiere, but big showing there. Dear Evan Hansen, I believe, will have its world premiere here as well, and it's based on the musical. Let's see here. Yes, that's on September the 9th. It's the opening gala presentation. And this is one, I mean, I don't want to, I think it does have a shot to be maybe a player in the race. Just traditionally, I think of films like The Hate U Give, kind of some of the more young adult ones where it's like, okay, they show it there and they think, oh, okay, maybe we do have a shot here. But it kind of, even if it gets great reviews, it's like, it kind of just dies, for its Oscar chances. And especially if a box office reception is kind of middling to okay, that's not going to help. And unfortunately, I think this one is in the same wheelhouse there. So yeah, I don't know, and I haven't seen the previews or anything, but we do have a good cast with this one. We've got Ben Platt, Caitlin Dever, Mandla Stenberg, actually from Hate U Give, Julianne Moore and Amy Adams in this one, and it's from. Let's see, I believe I actually do know the name of this director, Stephen Chbosky, who did. Perks of Being a Wallflower, yes, and he's got what was the other one he did after that? Wonder, Wonder. I do remember Wonder, yeah. That one was fun. I mean, it was fine. It's not a I didn't think it was as outstanding, one of the best of the year or anything. But yeah, that one we'll see what Universal has in mind for that one. If it's going to be one that's opening and then just kind of just to get a little bit more buzz before a theatrical release, or if it is actually going to be maybe a bigger player than we're originally thinking. Okay, let's go to Belfast. This is just by alphabetical order here. So this one's going to be, I don't know, that's weird. We do have a date on this one as September the 12th at Tiff. So I guess a couple of these we have dates on, a couple other ones we don't. I would probably rather use the the website for TIFF right now. But again, with everything there, it looks like it's all subject to change. So I'm like, if it's all subject to change anyways, I'll just use Wikipedia or whatever here. So I'll just go off that for now. Again, since everything is kind of subject to change once we get on the actual dates or close to the actual dates. But yeah, we talked about this one a little bit last time. So we'll kind of skip all the pomp and circumstance with that one since we kind of went into it. Let's see, moving on. Yeah, we talked about Last Night in Soho already. So those are kind of the bigger ones there. We do have one from Barry Levinson called The Survivor. This one has Ben Foster, Billy Magnuson, Vicky Krieps, Danny DeVito, Peter Sarsgaard, and John Leguizamo starring. I don't know much about this one. Let's see. Real life story of a Auschwitz concentration camp. Oh, okay. Where he, it's somebody who it's Harry Haft is the name, and he's an actual, he was a boxer from Poland who went into the concentration camps and, boxed inmates to kind of please the Nazis. That actually is a good story. That can make for really good material there. I don't believe that one's been picked up, so that's going to be at TIFF and will presumably be picked up by somebody. Without, obviously there's no trailers or anything yet for this one. Man, I'm trying to think. And Hans Zimmer's doing the score for it and stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Bronze Studios, who has done... Oh, they've done a bunch of stuff here lately, but that's been a lot of more of the stuff like Roman J. Israel Esquire. I believe they were on Fences as well. So I can see Paramount or Columbia or some of those other studios that have worked with Braun in the past maybe picking up this one. I'd lean more on Sony for this one, but yeah, Paramount could definitely pick up that one. Let's see, any other directors here that are sticking out? Oh, Lakewood, that's from Philip Noyce, yeah. Let's see, this one has Naomi Watts is kind of the big star of this one. And it's she stars as someone who's trying to save her child after the police have the whole town locked down after an active shooter incident, it says. So, I don't know. Noyce has been... I mean, obviously, the ones I think of always are like Dead Calm and the two Jack Ryan adaptations he did in the 90s. And it's like, since then, he's kind of... I mean, not disappeared, but he's done like, The Giver, which I don't think anybody remembers. Salt, the Angelina Jolie one, which people liked at the time and then kind of fell off the map. Let's see. The Quiet American, which actually did get a nomination for Michael Caine for lead actor. And he also did Bone Collector, which a lot of people remember from the late 90s there. So he's had a good career and stuff, and he'll, I'm sure, continue. But... yeah, this one also does not have a distributor yet, so yeah, I'm not sure who would pick up that one. It supposedly comes in at 80 minutes, so yeah, we'll see who wants to have that one. And that's not to say I don't think it's going to be good or anything, but I'm just trying to figure out, which studio that would fit with. Otherwise, we do have Melanie Laurent, who's more famous for her on-screen role in Inglourious Basterds. She has a film there that she's directing. And again, I am not sure if she has directed before or not. Let's see, it looks like she's done some shorts and a couple of films. So yeah, this is not a debut by any means. But let's see, Galveston. I don't think I saw that one. That was at South by Southwest here about 3 years ago. And it looked like everybody forgot about that one. So, okay. Yeah, so she's got she's got one called I missed the title here, The Mad Woman's Ball, which she is also starring in, and none of the other cast members seem that familiar to me. This one actually has been picked up by Amazon, and will actually come out on the 17th of September, so almost while the festival is still going on. So again, that usually does not bode well, but we could be surprised by it. Let's see here. It's not really... It's based on a novel, but it's not really going into the story of that one. So, okay. And that was also a gala. So these are all gala presentations, by the way. Okay, for a few special presentations we'll go into. We already talked about The Box a little bit, because that one's at both Venice and Toronto. Let's see here. The Eyes of Tammy Faye, which I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I know it's been out for a while. But I'm still like, yeah, I kind of want to go into that one fresh. I still have Chastain out front, by the way, to win Best Actress. But yeah, after I saw the trailer and stuff, I'm like, man, calling Kristen Stewart if she goes all the way with it, that'd be kind of neat at this stage, and stuff. But we'll see. But yeah, this one, it was like, looks like, yeah, they're like, she and Garfield are like scam artists, or yeah, they're televangelists. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Tammy Faye and Jim Baker, that's right. Yep. Yeah, so you got let's see, yeah, we kind of mentioned, I think we mentioned a little bit of the cast here last time, but yeah, Jessica Chastain, Andrew Garfield, Cherry Jones, Vincent D'Onofrio, from Michael Showalter, who did The Big Sick, and what was the other one he's done? The Wet Hot American or one of the Wet Hot American Summer movies. I thought there was... Oh, yeah, Hello, My Name is Doris. That's right, yeah, which I didn't see that one, but I remember at the time it was kind of a bigger vehicle for Sally Field, and I think she got close to a Globe nomination, but didn't quite pull it out. Let's see. So this one is going to open on the 17th here in the U.S. So again, this one is opening, again, almost right as the festival wraps up, but I don't know. I have more of a Hustlers feel with this one. I don't really see this one... being one that shows up just to disappoint us. I could, of course, be very, very wrong about that, but yeah, I have a little bit more confidence in that one than I do some of the other ones that traditionally will play like that. Let's see what else. We've got The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal, quite a cast in this one, actually. Jake Gyllenhaal, Ethan Hawke, Peter Sarsgaard, Riley Keough, I can never pronounce her name, Paul Dano, Davine Joy Randolph, and Bill Burr. Let's see, this one, I haven't seen the story of it, but it's a remake of a Danish film. It says of the same name. Let's look up that one a little bit here. Which was selected... Yeah, but did not get nominated for foreign language film in that year. Let's see if I can get through it without reading the whole plot description. I don't know. But anyways... so that's Fuqua, with Training Day. He's had some good success in the past with some Oscar features there, actually with Ethan Hawke, and all that. But this one actually is coming out from Netflix on September 24th. Again, right after the studio. It'll actually be streaming on October the 1st with limited release on the 24th of September. Yeah, I don't know. This one, without, looking up anything, I don't think I've seen a trailer for this one. Yeah, it looks like more of a crowd pleaser type thing than a bigger Oscar player. And plus, yeah, Netflix is going to have so much more on their plate this year. Let's see, we talked a little bit about The Humans last time. That one plays on September the 12th at Tiff. We've got still Power of the Dog, which we mentioned. And actually, this one's Sundown is actually both at Venice and Toronto. From Miko Franco, who I don't think I've heard of any of his other films here. But let's see, and that one says a wealthy man attempts to abandon his family on vacation. Yeah, we'll see if that one's maybe more of a comedy. But yeah, it has Charlotte Gainsbourg and Tim Roth in it, and Henry Goodman. So a couple of familiar names and faces in there, so I don't know, that does sound like a little bit more of a comedy or something there, so be on the lookout for that one. And yeah, otherwise, yeah, the special events, we have Dune, Spencer, and A Hero, which is Asghar Farhadi's film, and this one was at the Palme d'Or, was at Cannes, and won the Grand Prix. Always make that joke. Let's see, I was going to look up, what's the reviews on this one? I kind of looked at them once and I thought they were really, really good, so I'll confirm that here. Just off 100 reviews, 100%. Or 18 reviews, 100%. Yeah, you get what I mean. But yeah, and this one, I forget, this comes from Iran, yeah. So I was going to say with that, I'm like, with all the stuff in Afghanistan, I thought I was going to get around to that. But I'm like, yeah, I need to make sure, because I was like, I don't think that was Afghanistan he won for with, Salesman, right, The Salesman. But being out of the region there, relatively close map wise and stuff. That I don't know. That might give him some sympathy points and stuff. It's coming out from Amazon. I still have him in for director, kind of being that very much like what's his name last year, Paul Pawlowski and all those. Kind of being like somebody like that. But so that one will premiere or show there as well. I mean, premiered at Cannes, so that one I think will pick up some more steam there as well. Anyways, so as far as the past entries at TIFF here, for which ones have done really really well and stuff, we can go into that real quick. Let's see if I can find. I think there's a separate link for that actually. People's Choice, right? Let's see here. We'll go into the last few years here. So Nomadland was our winner here as well last year. So that and Green Book and 12 Years a Slave have been some of the more recent ones to win Best Picture as well as that. One Night in Miami was first runner-up last year, which, disappointed on Oscar morning. Let's see, then we had Beans, which I don't think anybody remembers. Best Picture nominee. I don't know what you're talking about there. That wasn't nominated for nothing. Anyways, but I think they put that on the wrong thing there or something. I don't know. That's weird. Anyways, but just in recent years, some of the top three films. Jojo Rabbit won here in 2019. That was Best Picture nominee. Marriage Story was first runner-up, and then Parasite was second runner-up, which was our Best Picture winner. Green Book, as we said, won in 2018, followed by If Beale Street Could Talk and Roma. Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri won here in 2017, followed by I, Tonya and Call Me By Your Name. In 2016, it was La La Land who won, followed by Lion and Queen of Katwe. And I guess we can go. 2015 Room won, and then Angry Indian Goddesses was first runner-up, with Spotlight being second runner-up. So again, we'll see what really plays here. Some of your more heavy hitters that are more expected to do well, like Spencer or Power of the Dog, or potentially Dune. I don't know. I think Dune will still count there, I think. Maybe A Hero will do really well and be one of the runner-ups, if not the winner. Otherwise, I'd put some stock into something like... I don't know. I was going to look at some of those gala presentations again, but I don't know. I can see. I don't know. I see more the late night or Last Night in Soho being more of those like midnight screening kind of deals. But obviously it's a gala presentation, so it's not quite in that. But I don't see that one being like as big a player there. So we'll kind of go there. Maybe The Humans will be one that surprises us and gets one of those runner-ups or wins the People's Choice. So, there's a few names out there. But in recent years especially, we haven't seen, other than Beans there, it's like we haven't seen a lot of huge surprises there for our lineup there. And as far as what else could play at Telluride, I don't... since Dear Evan Hansen has such a big hubbub about it premiering here at TIFF and stuff, I don't see that one showing up there. I don't see Last Night in Soho. I think we mentioned that one already. Let's see. I'd say more your stuff like Eyes of Tammy Faye I can see being there. I don't think they've made a huge hubbub there about it, world premiere and stuff. Right now they list it, but I can see that kind of sneaking up and being on the Telluride list. I'm trying to think of an example, but I believe that has happened before where they say, we're going to premiere at TIFF, and then they show up at Telluride, because obviously you don't want to give that away early. Like we said, Power of the Dog is definitely one I can see also showing up at Telluride. I don't know. Maybe one of the other ones here that I'm looking at here that don't ring a bell yet or anything. Maybe one of those will pop up, and when eventually we do get that list, then I'll be like, that one's going to be a TIFF. Okay, so I guess real quick we can run down, because I haven't made a bunch of changes or anything to my lineups here or anything. I've basically got the same order for Best Picture. I just ditched French Dispatch in favor of Spencer right now. I do have that in as the 9th spot. So Dune did move up one spot, but otherwise, I don't really think anything else has made a huge climb to worry about yet. It's very early, so we'll see. Director lineup is the exact same, so I'm not putting what's his name in there for Spencer. I thought about it for a second there, but I'm like, no, I don't see it going that far. and that's Pablo Loren, who also did Jackie, by the way. So in Best Actress, Kristen Stewart is actually, Kristen Stewart is in now in favor of Kirsten Dunst, who's actually, we've heard, and Gold Derby has removed her from Best Actress, and she's now in Supporting Actress. So as far as I'm aware, that's not something where it's like they're running her in both and just going to see which one sticks. It's supposedly Netflix has said, yep, we're going supporting with her. Which from the trailer, it does look like part of the story will have to do with her off screen and stuff, so that would make sense. And I don't think she was going to have a huge candidacy to win Best Actress against people like Frances McDormand or Chastain or Kristen Stewart or even potentially some other actresses that I don't have in there right now, like Jodie Comer or even Jennifer Hudson. But I can see. I thought she was still going to have a really good candidacy in lead actress. That's why I had her in. But in supporting actress, yeah, I can see her knocking out a couple other players and being a little bit more of a sure bet in there as well. Otherwise, I think the list I've kind of edited a little bit. So I have Jessica Chastain first, then Kristen Stewart, then Frances McDormand, then Nicole Kidman, and then Jennifer Lawrence in there. Let's see. Normally I do actor first. Oh, well. And this one I haven't made that big a change. I think we did this live in the last video. I had Will Smith in second for King Richard to Denzel Washington for Tragedy of Macbeth. I haven't seen a lot of people moving stuff around in that one. Sticking with the lads and supporting actor, nothing changes there. Supporting actress, since Kirsten Dunst is now in there, I have her in, and I mentioned Sally Hawkins. So my new lineup is Marlee Matlin for Coda out front, and Dowd in Mass. I have her in second place now. Sally Hawkins in third for Spencer, Kirsten Dunst in fourth for Power of the Dog, and I still have Toni Collette in there for Nightmare Alley, so I did dump both Rooney Mara for Nightmare Alley and Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. And that one I'm, subject to put her back in later. We'll see if Sally Hawkins sticks around for Spencer. Let's see, then in the screenplay categories, again, just one change here, and that's in original screenplay. I still have French Dispatch out front, then Don't Look Up, the Soggy Bottom, Paul Thomas Anderson project, Mass, and then I do have Spencer in there as well. And again, maybe I'm going a little overboard at this point because it doesn't really seem like a huge screenplay movie. But I kind of looked at it and I'm like, being the Ricardos I had in there originally, but I'm like, you know what? Usually when Aaron Sorkin gets nominated, it's for a more sure bet. Steve Jobs turned out not to be a gigantic sure bet that year for Best Picture or anything, so that didn't make it. Molly's Game was also really on the outside looking in, so that one did get nominated, but in a pretty weak field. But stuff like Trial of Chicago 7 and Social Network and those did get in. Probably the only example I can think of where it was a more sure bet but didn't get in was A Few Good Men, but that was a long time ago now, almost 30 years. So I thought about that a little bit, and I'm like, I'm going to pull Sorkin now, but I might put him back in later. We'll see how it looks when the trailers and stuff start coming out. Let's see. Otherwise, like I said, I think the original screenplay category is going to be a lot more crowded because you still have A Hero, which I think has a shot at a nomination. Potentially Parallel Mothers, since Maldivar's been nominated in screenplay before. And actually, he did win, if I'm remembering correctly, for Talk to Her. I know he got the director nomination as well, but he's no stranger to that. And it's the same in the adapted screenplay category as well. Again, I still have West Side Story in there, but I'm really not sure what's going to get in over it. Unless it's going to be something like Passing, which I don't have a lot of the stuff on that one now. The Humans maybe gets in there. But I don't know. Otherwise, I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, nothing else is sticking out at me right now to say, put that in for screenplay. No, nothing really. So, so that last one is with West Side's getting in for screenplay is kind of subject to change. But if it does miss screenplay in an acting category, then I don't have Spielberg in for director or anything, but it's like, I might bump that because I'm still in fourth for Best Picture. I might be tempted to push that one down a little bit further on the list, and see if it's more like The Post and not like Lincoln or something. I don't know, just to compare some of the Spielberg movies in recent years. All right, well, that's what I got for now. I'm going to say about 98% certainty that I will be not on vacation when the Telluride list comes out, so I might be able to do a video when that does come out here. And if that, usually, again, it will be announced like the day before the festival or whatever, or 2 days before. Let's see, I need to remind myself the date here. Telluride Film Festival. That is on September the 2nd. So I should have stuff uploaded here for my first couple videos around that time. So, yeah. So like I said, when I'm filming this, we don't have the schedule for Telluride yet, and they would announce it here. It would be the week of that I'm filming this, and it would be on Tuesday or Wednesday. So if it works out, yeah, I'll go into it and I'll talk about what's there. Otherwise, opening day of the film festival, I'm going to be traveling back home as well as working. And then, yeah, that whole weekend I'll probably just be at home. So we might get the old setback, if you will, if I want to do a video then to kind of cover that stuff. But more likely than not, once Telluride's kind of done and Venice is done, which Venice will be done on the 11th and Telluride will be done on Monday the 6th, we might do a recap there and talk about what screened and what went well, what did not go well, all that stuff. We'll very likely have obviously we'll have the Golden Lion winner and stuff, so we'll get into that. And we'll maybe have a better idea of what's going to happen at Tiff and how that's going and stuff. Because I think, smarty that I am, I forgot the dates already for Toronto. Yeah, they will have started by the time Venice is done. That's right. There's a little bit of crossover there because Toronto starts on the 9th. So yeah, we will. By the time Golden Lion is handed out, we'll know a couple of the films that screened at TIFF how they did as well. So, okay, that's all I got for now. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the first couple of videos here. Yeah, I think the only other video I would normally do at this time, and I guess we can go into it really quick, is what films are already out that stand a chance at getting nominated for stuff. I don't know. And really, again, I've not seen hardly anything this year, so it's it's going to be like I don't know, I didn't see that one. Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, I didn't see that. Stuff like that. But obviously, we got to start with stuff that came out in March because that's when the official kind of week was and stuff when they cut it off for the Oscar. Excuse me, the Oscar window. But, yeah, Raya and the Last Dragon maybe has a shot at an animated feature, but I'd look out for more stuff like Luca and maybe a couple players later this year. Let's see here. Anything else that really stood out? Let's see. Godzilla vs. Kong maybe has a chance in effects or sound category, but I don't really see that one otherwise being a huge player otherwise. Let's see. Mortal Kombat, yeah, I didn't see it, but the word on the street was it wasn't that great. Let's see, I don't think there were tons in May that came out that everybody got excited about. Let's see here. I'm remembering all these films and stuff, but yeah, I think we did talk a little bit about Quiet Place Part 2 last time. Again, I'd say maybe the sound category, maybe effects, if it's a weaker field for that. I don't think so, but potentially. Cruella, I can see that getting in for costumes. Yeah, costume design, definitely. Haven't seen that one, but yeah, definitely costume design is going to be in play, and I don't think, maybe not production design. I don't know how in-your-face production design was on that one, but yeah, costumes I think is going to be a much bigger player for that. In the Heights, we talked about a little bit, and that kind of, unfortunately, at the box office, really did not hit. Critically, it did, and then there was a little bit of controversy afterwards with some of the choices for the cast and stuff. So, unfortunately, 2 of those, 2 out of 3, kind of being strikes against the film, I don't think it's going to bode extremely well. I can see, if they do have a Golden Globes this year, I can see it doing pretty well in the comedy musical categories, getting like, what's her name in, the lead actress from that, whose name is not sticking out at me right now. And potentially film and lead actor comedy musical. But again, we'll see if anybody wants to touch the Globes this year. Let's see. Otherwise, yeah, Luca we mentioned, which I've seen a little bit of that. My little 3-year-old niece watched it like, I think in the couple weeks that it was out, first out, she watched it like 50 times. So we had it playing at our house a couple times. And it was a cute little story. I didn't see the whole thing, but what I saw of it, I was like, it's good. It's not, groundbreaking. It's not like Finding Nemo or Incredibles or the first, all 3 of the Toy Stories. that were, absolutely tremendous. The fourth one was still really, really good, but I didn't put it in the same class. Or something like even Inside Out or Up, some of those more emotional ones too. It's not quite in that field, but I can still see it being a player for animated feature and almost certainly getting a nomination. F9, it's a big box office hit worldwide and stuff, mainly because of China and all that, but yeah, again, these don't traditionally do well at the Oscars, so I'm probably going to say almost nothing for that one, except maybe sound, Let's see, otherwise, No Sudden Move was one from Soderbergh that came out in July and kind of made a splash, and now since then everybody's forgotten about it, so unfortunately I don't see that one going way too far. Let's see, what else? We had a sequel come out for Boss Baby. The first one kind of surprised us a little bit and got in at the Oscars for animated, but I don't predict the same for the sequel. Let's see. Otherwise, we've got Black Widow, which again could play for visual effects and sound. I don't really see it being a huge player otherwise. And yeah, most of those Marvel movies, even like Endgame, couldn't get out of effects, only, for Christ's sake. So I don't really see how that one's going to do a whole hell of a lot better. Let's see, Jungle Cruise again, maybe for effects, but I don't really see that one doing extremely well. Stillwater, again, outside of maybe Matt Damon, who has, again, with some interviews and stuff, gotten into hot water. And unfortunately, box office-wise and critic-wise, it was kind of mixed. So yeah, I don't really see that one going a long ways. I know The Green Knight was one that kind of came in. People liked it a lot when it came out, and again, it's kind of been there when it was out. It kind of made a little bit of money, and then people kind of forgot about it. So I don't see that one doing extremely well. Suicide Squad I haven't seen, but again, maybe effects or sound, maybe makeup potentially. Of course, we can't forget the first one. How that one did. I do want to see the Free Guy movie though. Definitely want to see that one, but yeah, I don't see that one being a big player. Respect, obviously, I think the biggest play that one's going to have is for Jennifer Hudson, and the box office is okay on this one, not great, not standout. The reviews, again, are kind of mixed. So, yeah, I'm not really on board with that one being like a huge player for like picture and director or anything, but yeah, I can see Jennifer Hudson, again, especially if she can really, we'll see where they would normally categorize her in the Globes, if she would go more drama or comedy musical. Again, I would say your better bet is put her in comedy musical. But, yeah, if she can capitalize on a nomination there or something, and then maybe get like Critics' Choice or something, then maybe she can get a little candidacy going. But, yeah, I kind of see her kind of being an uphill battle for like BAFTA and SAG and stuff, maybe. But traditionally, SAG has favored more of the early stuff, so maybe that one might bounce back at SAG. Let's see, and it does kind of, unfortunately, with the timing of the release and stuff, kind of seems more like Get On Up, which got great reviews, or really good reviews, if not great, or pretty good, somewhere in there. As far as I remember, it got good reviews, and I'm kind of disappointed at the box office, and then it was kind of done, kind of like that. Let's see, Coda we've talked about. I still have that in for picture and supporting actress and stuff. I still haven't seen it, but yeah, it does look like a pretty good movie there. And yeah, I think otherwise we're all kind of caught up here. Yeah. So yeah, obviously the other step we would do normally is to go down the list for what's coming out, but it's like, yeah, a lot of this stuff, it's like either subject to change or might drop off the list, and we don't know yet, all that stuff. And of course, some of them we would get into would be playing for just a couple things, and yeah, it'd be a lot of time here. So maybe we can get around to that one another day, but yeah, for now, I think, previewing everything we have with the festivals and with all the stuff that supposedly is in line to come out and be an Oscar player and stuff. Yeah, I think we're good on that for now, and we'll maybe revisit what else is coming out later in the year that we haven't gotten to, or that's not going to play on the festival circuit and all that. Maybe we can get to that another time, but for now, I think we're going to sign off, and we will see everybody technically in September. It's already is September if you're watching this, but when I'm recording it, it's not September yet, so we'll see you in September when the official Oscar race does begin, and we'll follow you up with either a Telluride video if that works out, or we will follow you up once we have some stuff sorted out with Venice and Telluride, and that's all in the rear view.